This
48.
conference will now be
Yeah.
recorded.
Okay, we went to F-48 and we created vendor down payment yesterday. What I will do now, I will process one more down payment with today's date, company code, currency. I'll say DP, down payment, vendor account, special GL we used and we configured was A, put A, bank account, some amount, let's say I'll take some 2000. Text is down payment, profit center, let me assign, same amount star and DP. Let me simulate this. Your bank outgoing account is getting credited, your vendor account is getting debited. If you look at vendor account, you have a special GL indicator A on the posting key, which means whenever you post any down payment or whenever you process any special GL transaction, posting key for vendor is 29 and 39. 29A or 29 represents a special GL debit, 39 represent special GL credit, which special GL is always followed by your posting key 29 or 39. If you look at posting key, it is giving you 29A, which means it's a special GL transaction with indicator A. Okay, and let me save this now. This entry is posted. Let me execute vendor line item report, FBL1N 100-101. I will select only the special GL transactions. There are two entries as of now. First one is for 30,000 which we processed yesterday. Second one is 2,000 which we processed now. Now our requirement or our intention is to make sure that these kind of down payments are processed via automatic payment program. Let us verify how we can process this down payment using automatic payment program. Now if you look at this screen, whatever we did here, let's say, let me put some entry quickly. I'm not going to post this entry. I'll just simulate. When I try to process one more entry here, is this an accounting entry or not? When you look at this entry on the simulation, it has got a debit, it has got a credit. This is called as an accounting entry. When you process this or when you save this, your down payment will get created. So if your intention is to process a down payment from automatic payment program, this process is not supposed to be done manually. If you do this manually, your down payment is getting processed manually. So you're not supposed to do this, because in this entry you have a debit, you have a credit. Whenever you have a debit, whenever you have a credit, this is called as an accounting document. This accounting document is what we have to process it from automatic payment transaction. So this is not the screen that we have to use. So instead of this, what we need to do, let me go to easy access, accounting, financial accounting, accounts payable, document entry, down payment. Before you process the down payment, there is something called request. Before processing the down payment, there is something called request, which means if I come back, here on the down payment screen, there is a screen or there is a tab called request. This request is nothing but a down payment request or DP request. This down payment request is called as a noted item. Based on the down payment request or based on the noted item, you can process down payment in SAP. Based on the down payment request, you can process the down payment in SAP. This is especially used when you're trying to process down payment for purchase orders. When you're trying to raise down payment for purchase orders or PO vendor, you will not be able to create the down payment from purchase order, because down payment will be processed by purchasing team, PO will be raised by logistics team. In the logistics department, they will create a down payment request. Based on the down payment request, finance department or finance team will initiate the advance payment to the supplier. How this request is created, let us look at now. Let me open F-47, which is your down payment request. In this, let me give current date. I'll put DP request account 100-101. It is asking target a special GL indicator. In the previous screen, it was only special GL indicator. If I look at F-48, this is only special GL indicator. There's a special GL indicator field, and here if you see, this is called as target special GL indicator. So there is a difference between your special GL indicator and a target special GL indicator. Target means when you complete this down payment request to a down payment, which special GL indicator you want to process. So when you are going to process the down payment, you want to process A. This will be your target special GL indicator. Press enter. When you press enter, there is a error message that you are getting at the bottom. It is telling no special GL account determined for down payment special GL indicator K. It is telling no special GL account defined for account type K, special GL indicator F for reconciliation account thus. In short, it is telling whenever you want to process any down payment request, whenever you are trying to process any down payment request, you must maintain the special GL account determination for down payment request, which is special GL indicator F. Yesterday, when we maintained this setting, we updated GL account determination only for a special GL indicator. Now, whenever you process any down payment request, your down payment request is always based on special GL indicator F. Okay, so I'll close this. What I'll do, I'll come out. To maintain the special GL or down payment config, we went inside FBKP yesterday. Let me go to FBKP. In FBKP, you will be able to see all the account determination or automatic posting screens. We are talking about special GL transaction. Click on special GL. In this, you are getting error for K and F, down payment request. System is telling for F, which is your down payment request, GL account determination is missing. Double click on this. It is asking for chart of account. Input your chart of account DEGR. Reconciliation account is always related to your vendor account. Whatever is updated in vendor master data, that is your reconciliation account. 241 is what we were using. Special GL account is always your advance account or down payment account. 242 was our special GL or down payment account. Now I have updated same reconciliation accounts, whatever we used in A, in F also. This is the same thing. Click on save. All these settings, whatever we are doing, will look like simple and easier, but these questions are possible in your interview, and these are a little tricky parts when you're in project also. Let me save this. Now the changes have been made. I'll come out. Let me try to process this down payment request now. F-47, same date. I'll put down payment request, vendor account. Target special GL indicator is A. Let me hit enter. Now it is allowing me to go forward, and this is taking posting key 39 with special GL indicator F. Now, any posting key which starts from 2 series is always vendor debit. Any posting key which starts from 3 series is your vendor credit. From 21 till 29, anything that you are seeing as posting key is blindly vendor account debit. Any posting key from 31 to 39 is vendor account credit. If you look at 3 series posting key, you need to remember this is vendor account credit. If it is 29, special GL debit. If it is 39, special GL credit. Now, if you look at this, special GL indicator is F, which means down payment request. Let me process this for, let's say, some 4,800. Due on when this down payment is supposed to be paid. Sorry, due on is nothing but when you want this down payment to be processed. The way you process invoice, on your invoice you will find something called a due date. On the due date your invoice will be paid. Similarly, if this is a down payment request, when you want this down payment to be released to the supplier or to the vendor, you need to make sure due date for the down payment is given. Let's say I will give today as the due date, and you also have something called payment method here. Which payment method do you want to consider? Currently, I'm not giving any payment method because I will show this using manual process. I'll put DP. Let me click on simulate. Now I don't have an option to simulate this. I'm trying to simulate this, but there is no option called simulate because this is a noted item. This is a noted item. For noted items, there is no simulation option because whenever you do any simulation, system is going to show you which account is debited, which account is credited. In short, it is going to display the financial entry or accounting entry. Whenever you process any down payment request, this is a noted item. Noted item will have only a single side updation on the accounting. When I say single side updation, either your noted item will update the debit side of the account or credit side of the account. If it is updating a debit, it will not contain any credit on the entry. If it is updating a credit, it will not contain any debit side of the entry. For now, if you see this down payment request, posting key is 39F. If you see posting key 39F, this 39 is vendor credit. This down payment request is going to have only credit side posting. There will be no debit side posting. So straight away I can click on post. Now this 17/008 document is posted. Let me go to vendor line item report. Currently on the vendor line item report, we are on special GL transactions alone. Let us refresh this to make sure if this down payment request is appearing. Currently you have two down payments for 32,000. These two are tagged against special GL indicator A. Let me refresh now. If I click on refresh, the third one, which is processed for 4,800, is not appearing on this special GL transaction. Let me go back. If I go back, special GL transactions, it is not appearing, but you have another option called noted item. Just now we discussed any down payment request is called as a noted item. Noted item means either debit or credit. Only one side of your accounting is updated. Let me process the noted items. If I process the noted item, I am able to see the down payment request transaction here for 4,800. When I see this 4,800 for down payment request, this represents as open status. So I need to manually convert this down payment request into a down payment. Normally, how do you convert this down payment request into a down payment? Let us verify how this conversion process manually happens first. Let me go to down payment. I'll give today's date. Let's say DP1, vendor account, special GL indicator, bank account. After giving this bank account, and if I select the amount, I will give profit center. After this, let me click on request. If I click on request, system is giving us the open down payments that are already created in this vendor account. It is giving the list of open down payment requests that are already created. There is one open down payment request here. You need to select whatever the down payment request that you want to process based on the noted item document number or down payment request document number. Select this, click on create down payment. Select this, click on create down payment. Now I did not input the vendor account line transactions. It has automatically picked up the open down payment request. If I do a simulation, this is what it is showing. Now let me click on pay this. Now this down payment has been processed. Once your request is converted to down payment, you will no longer see the noted item as open transaction. If I try to refresh this down payment request of 4,800 should disappear. Let me refresh. It is telling no open down payment request is available. Let me verify the cleared items for the down payment request. Noted item, cleared transactions. You are able to see this, but there is no corresponding offsetting to the down payment clearing entry. Normally, whenever you go to a clearing entry, you will find two lines. One line, the original entry, the second line, the offsetting entry. But here there is only one line which is becoming from red to green, which means from open status to green status it is converted. If you look at right side, check if you have any clearing document in this. You have something called a clearing document. This clearing document inside your down payment request is called as down payment document. 17, just double click on this 17. This is your payment document. So how you have seen this? You just need to open your down payment request document, click on display. When you display this, you will get a field called clearing. On this clearing, you will get the date on which the down payment request is cleared and the document against which this is cleared. If you want to know why this was cleared, what entry was processed for clearing this down payment request, you don't have to open one more window. You just need to do a double click on this document number. If I double click on this document number, this document will get displayed automatically. This is what is processed. Now, if you see, while processing the down payment request, your special GL indicator was F. While converting the down payment request into a down payment, your special GL indicator is A. This is because while processing the down payment request, system had asked us to input special GL indicator. If I go back, F-47. While processing the down payment request, system is asking us to input your target special GL indicator. So while converting the down payment request into the down payment, whatever the special GL indicator that you want to include, that indicator you need to input here. While processing the request, we have given A. That is why while converting down payment request into a down payment, system had processed it with a special GL indicator A. Now our target, our intention is to make sure we will create one more down payment request for the same vendor. We will try to clear the down payment request. In short, we will try to process the down payment using automatic payment program. Let me quickly create one more down payment request. 47. I'll put APP down payment, same vendor account, special GL indicator A. This is your target special GL indicator. Enter. I'll give something like 7,000 due on today. If you want to process anything using automatic payment program, payment method is a must. If you're not giving payment method, system will not consider your transaction in APP. Even if it considers, it will be displayed on exception list, not on the proposal or payment list. Payment method, whatever we created was 5. I'll put APP DP. I'll click on save. We understand that we have not configured any additional functionality in APP apart from the basic function or apart from the basic config. According to us, there is no configuration made to cater or to include down payment in your automatic payment program. Let us try to process down payment from APP and verify what kind of errors the system is giving us. F110, I'll give 0407, I'll say APP1. So I'll take, let's say, AP1. You can give any identification here, but this two combination should be unique always. This two combination is not company code specific, this is client specific. Okay, you can take, if you're always taking 4 digits, try to take 2 digits or 3 digit also, so that there is no point of duplication. I'll go to parameter. I will copy the parameters from my previous automatic payment program. But my vendor is not 100,111. My vendor is 100,101. I'll copy this vendor account 100,101, and I want to process down payment for this vendor 100,101. Pre-selection, no criteria. Additional lock is enabled. Let's go to status, save your parameters, click on proposal. Let us verify if the down payment request will get included or not. It has come. Now if I go to display proposal, it is giving you two lists. One list is your proposal or payment list with green indicator. The another one is red indicator, which is your exception list. Let us verify inside the exception list if the down payment request is part of it. To check why this 23,800 is gone inside the exception, you need to double click on it. Let me double click on it. If I double click on it, this is posting key 31 and the amount of this is 23,800. In short, our down payment request did not appear in the automatic payment program. Let me go back. Let us verify the display proposal log if it is giving anything related to down payment or special GL indicator. So document number 1501, 1903, 1701 and 21,680. So it is not talking anywhere about your special GL indicator, or it is not even giving any error messages. Right? It is not giving any error message. It is not talking about special GL anywhere. But our intention is to make sure special GL indicators or the down payments are processed using automatic payment program. For that, what we need to do, we need to revisit our automatic payment program configuration, which we did in FBZP. Go to FBZP, go to all company codes. If you go to all company codes, this is currently locked by AJ12. Let me close that AJ12 session here. Okay, session is now closed. FBZP. In FBZP, let's go to all company codes. Inside the all company codes, go to position, pick your company code, DEIN. Double click on this. If you double click on this, you find something called vendors. Inside the vendor, you have two options: special GL transaction to be paid, special GL transaction for exception list. Now, which special GL transaction should we want to process? Should we want to pay? Now, we don't want to take as an exception for down payment. We want to process the down payment. For that, process, I need to take special GL indicator A. I also need to take special GL indicator F, because in your down payment request you have special GL indicator F. In your down payment you have special GL indicator A. You need to make sure both the special GL indicators are updated here on the special GL transaction to be paid. Exception list, we will not use it now. Currently, let's focus only on the function which is required for us. AF is what I am giving on the vendor special GL transaction to be paid. I'm not maintaining any other settings. All the other settings we will do with practical examples. Let me save this. Enter. Now I have modified the settings to include down payment. Now I want to reprocess the automatic payment program proposal. Currently my proposal is already executed. I want to delete the proposal. To delete the executed proposal, you need to go to edit on the top, go to proposal, click on delete, enter. Click on delete, enter. Let us verify if you have anywhere to represent to down payment. On your parameters, there is no option to represent the down payments. So your down payment is basically coming from your configuration part. While creating the parameter, nowhere you have an option to include or exclude a down payment. Click on save and run the proposal once again. This time our expectation is to include or is to bring special GL transaction on the proposal. Go to display proposal. If you go to display proposal, this is 13,000 and this is 28,600. Let me take this 28,600 which is in the payment list. Double click on this. If I do a double click on this, let me verify if I find anywhere this. There is something called 7,000 here. Is our down payment request for 7,000? If I display this, yes, this is for 7,000. Our down payment request is created for 7,000. If you look at your automatic payment program proposal list, from the proposal list, this is your payment list. The items that are to be processed, the items that will be paid from this automatic payment program. You are able to see a transaction with document type KA or posting key 39 for 7,000. Let us check if it is giving special GL indicator somewhere. If you look at this is your special GL indicator. This is your target special GL indicator. Same field is appearing twice. This is your special GL indicator in which the transaction is currently sitting at. Your transaction is currently sitting at special GL indicator F, which is down payment request, and from F your special GL indicator will be created as A. System is going to clear down payment request in special GL indicator F, and it will process a new down payment using special GL indicator A. Now here your down payment is appearing on your proposal. Go back, ignore the exception list. I don't want to look at why this is an exception list as of now, because our intention is to process only the down payment. Let me go back. Before I process the payment, let me show you the vendor line item report. Noted items. There is one transaction in the noted item for 7,000. Observe carefully here. There is one transaction as open in the vendor noted item. Next one, if I verify the special GL transaction open, there is 36,800. There are only 3 transactions. Now, once the automatic payment program is executed, system will have to add 7,000 more to your down payment. 36,800 plus 7,000. Right, 43,800 it should become. And it should add 4th transaction or 4th document here. Currently, the document types are KZ. When you process automatic payment program, it has to bring a document type called ZP. Let me process this entry now. Proposal we have created, we have made sure that your down payment is appearing on the proposal. Let me click on payment run, start immediately, continue, enter. Payments are processed. Let us go to down payment screen on the vendor line item. Currently 36,800. Once the APP is completed, we assumed 36,800 to become 43,800. It has to add 7,000 more to this list. Go to list, click on refresh. Now, if you see, it has become 43,800. You got another document called ZP with a special GL indicator A. Correct? Now, this is appearing in this. Payment block is there as A here. When you say payment block is there for A, why the payment blocks are used, I'll explain in the next sessions. You want to restrict somebody misusing this down payment against unwanted invoices. So you want system to restrict usage of this down payment with unwanted invoices. Somebody might apply this down payment to any other invoice which is not related to this down payment. To avoid such things, you will be normally making payment blocks. Okay, ignore this payment block as of now. This is your special GL indicator A. Down payment is processed. If I look at noted item, let me take only noted item. There should be nothing outstanding here. No items is selected in the noted item. If I select a cleared item, this down payment request should be on the cleared side. 17,009 APP down payment for 7,000. If I go right side, I can see the clearing document as 2 all zeros 21. Open the document, look at the clearing column, look at the clearing date, and look at the clearing document number. Just double click on this clearing document number, you will be able to see the down payment entry. This is your down payment entry that system has processed. This is the down payment entry that system has processed. Since we have made single payment setting, it has processed everything in one payment. Go back. This is about your down payment usage in your automatic payment program. Any confusion, any doubt here? There is only one setting. You just need to go to all company codes, mention your special GL indicator, and create a down payment request. Make sure you input payment method inside the down payment request. And when you run the automatic payment program, there are no additional changes. The only changes in FBZP, all company codes, you need to make sure down payment or the special GL indicators to be included there. Point number 2, when you process down payment request, make sure payment method is assigned and due date is assigned. These are the only 3 conditions, parameters that you need to look at. Once these are in place, the way you run the down automatic payment program, in the similar way we execute it without any changes. This simple setting will enable you to process down payment request. And based on the down payment request, system will process the advance payment or down payment. Next one, there is something called on account payment or partial payment. There is something called on account payment or partial payment. Let us verify how these are processed. Let me go to accounting, financial accounting, accounts payable, document entry. If I go to down payment, this is what we have done. This down payment clearing I'll show you again. Before that, I want you to practice down payment processing. If you're clear with the down payment processing, how do you link or how do you clear the down payment against an invoice? We will see in the upcoming session. Okay, in the outgoing payment, there is something called payment request. If I go to payment request, it is asking payment request for the respective invoice. It is asking payment request for the respective invoice. Now what I want to do here, I want to process one partial payment against an invoice. Let me take the same vendor. I'll click on execute. Let me take open items, normal items. I only want to see the normal transactions. I don't want to see any special GL interest. There is no invoice in this. Let me open another window. I'll take F-43. I don't want to create the entry from the scratch again. So what I'll do, I'll go to the vendor line item report. I will click on cleared items, execute. I will copy any one document which is related to purchase. So this is your purchase entry, KR document. Copy the document number. Control C, copy the invoice document number from the data entry screen. Don't process the invoice again and again manually. That is not the thing that you are going to do when you're in a project. When you're in a project, you are going to create the data in a different way, not in the manual processing. You need to create one more document for your testing purpose. Click on post with reference and give the document number from which you want to copy the details. From this document 19 all zeros, I want to copy the details. Put this document number, company code, fiscal year. No need to select any of this. Nothing is required. Just press enter on the keyboard. It will copy the entry as it is. Enter. If you want to make any corrections, you can put the corrections. Otherwise, you are good to go. Click on save. Now, if you see, you will get an invoice outstanding here.
Ajay, sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
Can you post one more document with the reference with a different amount?
Okay.
So I tried with this scenario, so I faced some issue with the APP. So
what I'll do, let me copy from this document number. Now, if you look at this screen while processing the document with reference, there are certain things which cannot be changed. If you look at the header part or the screen number 1, company code cannot be changed, currency cannot be changed, posting key cannot be changed. Clear? These 3 points you cannot change from the first screen. Okay.
yes, Ajay.
Next, press enter. Here, if you want to change the amount, let's say from this 10,000, I will make it as 15,000. When I make it 15,000, the moment I press enter, now you have to remember that in your company code, we are using multiple currencies, local currency plus group currency, correct?
Yes, Ajay.
When you copied the transaction, your transaction was having 10,000 amount. Now you are converting 10,000 into 15,000. When you press enter, you will get a message like this. This is because this group currency amount is the equivalent value of 10,000 INR. But did we change INR from 10,000 to 15,000? We changed amount from 10,000 to 15,000. This group currency system is telling this is deviating by 50%, which means this is not the equivalent group currency for 10,000. What you do, simply remove this amount, press enter, so that it will convert this 15,000 and it will update the dollar. I'll not do anything. I'll just press enter on the keyboard. Clear? This is what you got. Only for the first line item, the amount is updated now. Double click on the second line item. You can put the same amount or you put star. Press enter on the keyboard. You will get the same message for the group currency because we updated local currency from 10,000 to 15,000. Remove the group currency amount. Press enter. It will convert automatically 15,000 into dollar. Now, if you go back, you will be able to see the amount is updated from 10,000 to 15,000, both from local currency point of view and from your group currency point of view. Now you can proceed to post this. Clear?
Yes, Ajay.
Okay. Now let me refresh this vendor line item report. Two things that we need to remember whenever you process any automatic payment program. We need to understand that this invoice or any transaction that you want to include in APP must contain payment method. If payment method is not there, this transaction is straight away not included in your APP. No payment method, no APP, straightforward. If there is no payment method, it will not come to your automatic payment program. Even if it comes, it will be in the exception list. Now our intention is to make a partial payment against this invoice. When we are making a partial payment, are we going to touch invoice or we are not going to touch invoice? If it is a partial payment, are we going to touch your invoice?
No, sir.
In your partial payment, you are not going to touch your invoice because your partial payment will become another open line item with the payment amount. Correct? Invoice will not be touched. Now I am not going to maintain anything in the payment method for invoice document. First thing what I will do, I'll show you one automatic payment program. APP1, I'll take AP2 parameters. Let me copy the data from this vendor account 100-101, save the parameter status, run the proposal. Let us verify what is happening to those two invoices which we have currently. Let me double click on it. If I do a double click on it, if I look at the invoices, these are the two invoices that we processed just now. One invoice for 10,000, the other invoice for 15,000. Correct? These two invoices, are these appearing in the payment list or exception list? In which list these are appearing? This is red symbol. Red symbol is nothing but exception. These are part of your exception list. Exception list will not be processed. So when I test this automatic payment program for partial payment, whatever the amount I want to make the partial payment, let's say for example, now one more thing, if you see the payment amount for outgoing is 0. System has detected there is nothing which can be processed or which can be paid based on your parameter or based on your criteria. I will take, let's say, first invoice out of 10,000, assuming I want to process the down payment for 9,990. 990 I want to process. I want to leave 10 rupees or 10 I want to keep aside. I want to process 990. Let me create a payment request here. Here it is asking document number. We are on F-59. You need to select your invoice document number. Control Y. Select 19 all zeros 29. Go to payment request. Put this document number here. Just press enter on the keyboard. It will automatically detect these things. And when you are looking at this, there is a special GL indicator which is P. Posting key is 39. Posting key is 39, which represents vendor account will be credited. It is going to put a credit on the vendor account. When you are going to make payment or when you are going to release payment to vendor, when your vendor account shows credit balance or when your vendor account shows debit balance. When we will make the payment to vendor,
Vendor
you will
credit
make
balance.
payment to vendor if your vendor account shows a credit balance. Now you have to look at the posting keys here. You look at the posting key here, it is 39. 39 means vendor credit. This is going to show a credit balance in the vendor account as a noted item. Noted item means something which is subject to payment. Special GL indicator is P. Did we maintain any configuration for special GL indicator P so far? No, right? We did not maintain any configuration for special GL indicator P. Let me proceed. Assuming that I don't know, you are getting the same error message. Similarly, what we got for down payment request F. It is telling special GL indicator P, there is no GL account assignment. Same option. T code is FBKP. Come here, /n, FB KP. Special GL. This is your KP. Go to KP, payment request. Double click on this. If you see here, currently there are some different GL accounts. Our GL accounts are not available. So what you do, just go back. Double click on this again. If it is not opening, somebody is already opened this screen. So it is giving data can only be displayed blocked by another user Ajay12. Let's go back once again. Let's try once again. If not, we will close that session. Okay, now it is working. Special GL. Let's go down to KP. Double click on this KP, DEGR. Whenever you are maintaining any settings like this, always remember the existing entries are not supposed to be deleted. You should click on like this. One more point that you need to remember, in certain screens, what will happen? You will find the complete data as editable like this. You will have complete data editable like this, and you will also find an option called new entries here. You will find an option called new entries here, but you will be seeing everything is editable. In such case, you will not click on new entries. You should strictly add the data in the lower level. In the next available blank column, you need to update your data. In short, assuming there is a new entry option here, data is editable straight away. You should never click on a new entries. Sometimes what will happen in certain screens, especially when you click on a new entries, it will remove all the existing records. Whatever you add in the new entry, only those will become the revised entries. So that will create a big problem. You should not do that. Whenever you find anything which is like this, straight away editable, come to the last row and then keep updating your information and then save it directly. If not, you will click on the new entries. In some screens, in certain functionalities, the existing data will be deleted. Whatever you add as new entry, only that data will remain. So keep this point in your mind. Now this one is 241 is the recon account, 242 is the special GL account. Now here one more point that you can remember is, if you want to maintain special GL as 241002 or you want to maintain any other GL account, that also is possible. If it is your partial payment advance, if you want a different GL account, you can create another GL account for down payment. You can map it here. Normally we don't do it. For any down payment, we will use it in the same GL account. What kind of a down payment it is always traced, is always identified based on the special GL indicator, not based on the GL account. Because it will become very hectic task for performing reconciliation reports if you are able to see different GL accounts. According to you, everything is a down payment. Why this down payment is made is always verified against the down payment indicator. In short, special GL indicator will tell you purpose of down payment, not by the GL account. Even though with GL account you can do it, but that is not recommended. Save this. Now this is saved. One more thing, what we are doing here, we are adding something called P. This P is your special GL indicator. Anything related to special GL indicator, any new special GL indicator we are using, should we maintain this indicator in FBZP or not? Any special GL indicator you are using, this has to be updated in FBZP. Let me come back from this. Let me go to FBZP. I'll go to FBZP. In FBZP, if you click on all company codes, I am only blocking it somewhere. Okay, this is already opened here, APP. Here what we need to do, currently the special GL indicators that we used are only two, A and F. Now when you're trying to process the partial payment against an invoice, your special GL indicator is P. P is currently not part of your APP config. You need to include P also here. If you don't include P, it will not be processed from there. Include P, click on save. Now these special GL indicators, you have to make sure that you will remember. Tomorrow if somebody is asking you how down payments will work from automatic payment program, you will have to tell this. When you tell this, you will get another question: what special GL indicators you have included or you have configured in your APP? They literally want you to tell these special GL indicators. If you are telling A I have included, then you are wrong, because if I include only A is not directly considered as a special GL indicator. A is derived based on F. If you create a down payment request F, based on the down payment request F, you are going to have the target special GL indicator A. So you must include A and F if you are talking about A. If you are talking about partial payment, you must include AFP. These three things you have to by heart. Whoever is asking anywhere, anytime, always remember AFP. Clear? A for your advance payment, F for down payment request, P for payment request. Click on save. Now data is saved. Let's try to create the proposal once again. With the existing proposal, if you check, payment amount is 0. With the existing amount, payment amount 0. Now let's go to payment request. Enter. By default, it is taking the total amount from the invoice. And if you see, invoice reference is automatically updated. Can you notice this here? When you're processing the payment request using F-59, your invoice document is automatically updated. Whenever you process any partial payment, this is what we are doing. You are going inside the process open item, you are clicking on partial payment tab, and then you are clicking on the payment amount. The same thing system is doing here. It has logged or it has detected your invoice number. Against this invoice, how much you want to clear. Let's say I want to clear 9,990, 990. And payment method is must. If you don't put payment method, it will not be included in your APP. Anything that you want to test, no matter what, make sure your transaction contains the payment method. Your transaction contains payment method. If it is not there, don't check anything else. First thing that you need to verify is whether your transaction contains payment method or not. If your transaction contains payment method, only then try to verify the other settings if everything is fine or not. First point, if payment method is missing, don't check any other settings. This is your first level check. Click on save. Now payment request is created. Now the existing parameters, current proposal is showing 0 amount as payable. I will come back. I'm not changing anything. I will just delete the proposal. I will redo the proposal. Let me go to edit, proposal, delete. And I will run the proposal once again. Now the expectation is system to bring 9,990 as payment amount. Proposal, enter. Enter. Proposal has been created. If I check the display proposal, it did not bring anything. Outgoing payment, nothing has come. Let me double click on this exception. If I double click on this exception, it is having something like this, and in this you will find something called payment method 5, and special GL type is already given. Target special GL indicator is currently blank, and it did not come out as green from your proposal list. It did not come out as green from your proposal list. It is coming out as blank. Sorry, as your exception list. Now anything that is there on the exception list, how do you convert that as payment? First of all, we need to trace why this has gone to exception. Let me go back. Let's see if we can figure out anything from the proposal log. Go down. it is telling item is blocked. So which item is this? This is 7,000. This is blocked with A. We are talking about an invoice which is 9990. Let me do a control F. 9990. Not able to find anything. So 9990 will be represented 9.990. This is also not coming. What is our document number? Display. Copy. And if I try to find this here, this is not appearing anywhere here. This is not appearing anywhere here. I'm not able to find any log related to that invoice. Why it is not included? Okay, let me go back. Go to edit proposal, enter, double click on this and double click on this AB type. In this, if you see, payment method is updated as 5. Payment method is already updated as 5, but it has not detected the payment amount. So what I will do, I will go back from this. I will try to edit this invoice, this document, double click on this line item. If I go to additional data, in the additional data, currently there is no information related to house bank account ID. Let me try if I can modify this from here. Enter, additional data. Let me try to select one house bank for this. Axis Bank I will select. And Axis 1. Continue. Let me save this. Now what I did, I also updated bank related information for this. I will go back. Let me delete this proposal. You need to verify different reasons, different situations in which a system is behaving. Click on proposal again. If I go to display proposal, now also it is not taking into the proposal list, sorry, into the payment list or proposal list. Now also it is going inside your exception list. Why it is going into exception list? Why system is not able to detect that as a payment? This is something that we need to figure out. But if something is not coming as payment request, sorry, payment list, if it is in exception list, you need to manually convert that exception to a payment. For converting that, go to edit proposal, enter, double click on this, double click on this. Now what I will do, I will try to do something. One more thing, what I will do is, I'll take this invoice number. In this invoice number, I'll try to update the payment method. In the invoice, I'll put payment method 5. Let me save it. Okay, for the invoice also I updated now. I will delete this proposal now. It is not about completing this payment run. It is not about finishing this in quick session. You need to understand what is happening in the system, how system is behaving. I've deleted it now. Let me try to do proposal. Enter. If I go to display proposal, now is this coming? It is coming, but what is coming? Only invoice is coming. Correct? Only invoice is coming. Down payment request is not coming. If your invoice is coming, if your down payment request, if your payment request is also coming, is it a duplicate or not duplicate? You got what I'm trying to say? Now system is telling my invoice 10,000 can be paid. If I open the exception, if I try to select this document, it is showing 9,990. If I try to include this one also, will system process the excess payment for my invoice or not?
No, sir.
Let me go to edit proposal, enter. I'll do this. I'll select this. Let me click on, whenever you are not able to see this, you just need to click on reallocate. Click on reallocate. Now, if you see this, if I try to display this, this is giving one message. It's telling payment request, no payment, original document will be paid. If I try to reallocate, sorry, if I double click on this, if I click on reallocate, if I select continue, if I save and go back, what happened to my payment? How much it has become? 19,900. But what I will do now, I'll remove payment method from my invoice. I'll remove payment method from my invoice, or I'll put a payment block. I'll not put payment block, I'll remove the payment method. Now I'll edit, I'll delete the proposal again. Let me try to do the proposal once again. Display proposal. Everything is in exception. Go to edit proposal, enter, double click on this. If you select this AB payment request, this is original document will be paid. Click on reallocate, click on continue. Save this, go back. Now it is showing 9,990 as payment amount. Let me save this. I have edited this down payment, this payment request from the edit proposal, but we need to find out why it did not become, or why it did not come as payment request. Why did this go to exception list? Normally there should be a valid reason for something sitting in exception list, because you cannot tell your users go and click on reallocate, and then that is not a valid statement. If you are telling it to your user, you're not supposed to say that, because they'll put a cross question, why is it not becoming green by default? So you need to give them the answer. You need to figure out, you need to test further how system is behaving, why it is not coming in green by default. Let me click on payment run now. Now one payment is processed. Once the payment is processed, if I try to process this payment request, if I try to process this payment request, it is showing 9,990 as this. It is showing 9,990 as open. And if you go right side, it has got updated with invoice reference number with the original invoice, from which table we were able to track down payment history. What is a table to find your, sorry, partial payment history? What is the table? Anyone? Anybody remember the table? From where you can trace down your partial payment history. Is it BSEG or BKPF or anything related to BSIK, BSAK?
BSIK.
If I put BSIK, BSIK is your secondary index for vendor. BSIK talks about open document. You need to check if your invoice is currently open or it is currently cleared. If your invoice is currently open, you need to put BSIK. If your invoice is already cleared, BSAK. Company code DEIN, and vendor is 100 101. invoice reference. In the invoice reference, make sure you will input the invoice number, which is 19 all zeros 29. If you put invoice reference as your original invoice number, let us verify if system is giving any payment information or not. It is giving payment information ZP. ZP represents this is a payment which is processed using automatic payment. Amount that is paid is 9,990. Clear? This is how you are going to process partial payment against a vendor invoice. Now I want you to practice down payment from automatic payment program. Your partial payment is also from automatic payment program, and also figure out why your partial payment is not coming out as proposal list or payment list. Why your payment request is going inside the exception list. That reason also I want to know tomorrow. Clear? Alright then, let me stop this recording.